Ley Lines Walking with Warriors. Today I am going to be speaking with Nathan Howe. He is a local breathwork facilitator as well as a life coach here on the Gold Coast, and has so many different things happening for him at the moment. Season cycle, a 12-week program coming up, as well as his Iron Warrior men's work. He works with men's medicine as well, and he has a beautiful sunrise breathwork that he does every Saturday. We're going to hear all about it and so much more here on Ley Lines. First of all, welcome. It's really great to have you here. The first of many brothers, men, to come on here. And so such an honor to have you as the very first of my male interviewees.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for having me, and I'm super grateful to be the first.
Yeah, it's gonna be fantastic. This is sort of, I think that you're almost the permission piece for other men. I have spoken with other men about being on here, and I've had a few flakies that have just kind of have on the day gone, oh, sorry, I'm sick, and it's such a shame because everyone has got beautiful messages. That's part of the reason why I want people on here, to share their medicine, to share their message. And you've got a big one.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's a big story.
It is a big story. So how about, let's dive right in. I'm going to dive into the deep end with you.
Yeah, cool.
With all of the technical difficulties that we've had so far today, we've got our own technical difficulties that happen within our own personal lives. And so there's no pulling any punches here. I wanted to start off today, and this is a bit of I'm going to say an activation point for some people. It is something that I don't use the word trigger. It is an activation because it can activate something inside us when we talk about our hard times. And you have actually had some pretty deep, dark shadow work moments that you've been very, very transparent about on your page and in your life. And I'd really love you to open up to us and just tell us a little bit of how you have come from the deep, dark shadow into the powerful, strong king that you are now.
Yeah, thank you so much. Oh, wow. So, I mean, like, everything has a massive run up. So I guess, like, it all obviously stemmed from my upbringing. My parents separated, drugs and alcohol abuse. And then, that was going on for quite a fair bit of time. I didn't know where I was going. I was just lost in this world, just hitting job to job, and didn't really know where I was or what I was doing. And so I fell into landscaping, and I did landscaping for 3 years, and I ended up going out to work on Hayman Island. And I did a couple of different island hopping and all of that stuff. And, whilst I was doing that, there was a lot of drugs involved. And that really just had this massive impact on my life. Like, it was all fun and games at the time, but not realizing the repercussions that it had as well. So it really set my mindset down a pretty dark loop right from the get-go. And that was in my early 20s. And then actually, after I left the islands, I got into a bit of trouble in Surfers Paradise, and got charged for grievous bodily harm. I actually hurt a fella, and so remorseful about that as well. Like, even as soon as I did it, I was sitting in the lockup, and like, we're diving deep now. I was sitting in lockup, and I literally had this voice. I was crying my eyes out the whole time. I had this voice come to me and said, "You're destined for greatness. You shouldn't be in here." And after that point, I stopped drinking, stopped smoking, and turned my life to fitness. And I got into personal training. I volunteered at the gym for like 3 months. Just volunteered my time whilst I was learning learning the skills of becoming a personal trainer. Did the Cert 3 and 4 and diploma in fitness, and I did that for like 2 years, and I was like, okay, cool. I met this other girl during that time, and just we we were dating for about a year and went back to the islands. And something about island life, it is not good for people. I swear to God.
You
I
let
swear
down
to
your
God.
guard completely.
Yeah, and got back on the drugs, and it was just back and forth with that, and it was like I had no idea what was going on internally at this time. It was more or less just like a lot of surface level stuff, having fun with this new girl that I had met, and back on the islands, and we separated out in the islands, and I moved to Ayers Rock. And when I went out to Ayers Rock, there was something that really sort of connected with me. And at this age, I was 26, so I was really dived really deep into my heart chakra of my 7-year cycle, and that really landed for me when I was out in Ayers Rock, because there was something spiritual out there. Like there's when you're on the land and you can actually feel it, and that sort of triggered a lot of energy for me. And yeah, I was like, okay, I felt something. I need to get home. So come back to the Gold Coast. And that's when I really dived deep into like my fitness side of stuff and became a bodybuilder, model, actor, topless waiter, all the things.
All the
Um,
things.
yeah, all the things. So, but at the same time, deep down, if you look at the bigger picture, all of those things was just looking for external validation, because I never really got a lot of those things. So that was playing out for me from like my 26 to 30. So bodybuilding, topless waitering, acting, modeling. I still do acting. I'm actually on set tomorrow, so that's pretty cool. Um,
Nice.
um, however, a lot of that was that was a bit of fun. That was all a bit of fun. I was up on stage, being seen, changing my whole physique, learning a lot about the human body, physically, mentally, what I can actually do with myself. Um, Still having that voice in my head saying, "You're still destined to greatness. Keep going." And that was always my mentality: just go all in on everything. So, and when I finished bodybuilding in 2021 after COVID, because I prepared for a bodybuilding comp in 2021 and COVID just shut down everything. So it was 10 months of prep, and I was eating so much food. I was shredded. I was all the good things for taking first place, and it just got cancelled. And that was a massive sort of like downhill sort of spiral for me, because after that there was no sort of gratification of like, you know what, I just put in all this work and I didn't receive anything for it. And at the end of that competition, I met this girl, and head over heels, fell in love, and all of these things. And the alcohol started creeping back in,
Mhm.
and the alcohol really put a deep down, sort of push me as far as possible. And what I mean by that is it started expelling a lot of my attachment styles and a lot of my insecurities, a lot of my anxiousness, a lot of my jealousy, and it started bringing all of that stuff up to the surface, which led to the breakup between myself and her, which, I can say this now, and I still love her for this, but she had so much power to separate from us to allow me to grow to the man that I am today. And so I still have so much love for her. It was such a hard thing for her to do, to be able to take that one, on the chin for her to allow me to grow. Um, but I didn't, it was at the time of going through any separation, you're going through an identity shift, right? An ego death.
Mhm.
And that was massive for me, in regard to like, I was ready to go. I was like, this is it. Like, fuck, I've been hitting every bottom that throughout my whole life, I've been scraping through the bottom. Like I've got no money, I've got no clients, got no woman now. How am I going to even live? And so like I actually tried to commit suicide twice in that one day. So it was pretty full on. I even, some of the words that she said to me, before we actually separated was, actions speak louder than words. And I was like, okay, all right, you got to start doing something, right? So I started seeing a psychologist, which was great. The psychologist told me exactly what I'm experiencing. Didn't help me bloody heal it though. I'm like, it's great. You're intellectualizing all of this for me. I understand it. Now, how do I work through it? And that's, I never got that from there. And, a friend reached out to me and he's like, you know what? I'm going for a walk on Saturday. Do you want to come for a walk? I'm like, well, I've been sitting at home, buddy, sitting in my shit for the last 2 months now. Don't really want to die. Might as well. Anyway, so I went for a walk with him, and this was where men's medicine came into play. So went for a walk with Lino Holler, Coach Holler from men's medicine, and yeah, literally saved my life. Hey, we grounded in, we opened up the circle. There was like 20 other guys there, and we tapped into our breath. We set some intentions, and the first activation breath that we went through was Soma breath. And whoa, whoa, it was insane. It's actually insane. I went in deep. Like I said, I don't do things in halves. I went in deep, didn't know what to expect, had no expectations, and breathed into a space of like, I want to learn how to communicate with women because that's where my relationship bailed on with my last partner. And so I breathed into that intention, and turns out like I had all these blue auras of all my loved ones come forth, and like that had died. So that had passed on to another life, and they had presented themselves and said, it's okay, we're here, we're with you, we forgive you. It's all an acceptance piece. And yeah, so that was very profound, being able to see and hug and feel all of the people that had died in my life. And I came out of that like shocked. Like I was like, couldn't explain it. You can't explain it until you can't make sense of that stuff.
Can't explain it. Yeah.
Yeah. So like that's what happened for me. And that was the first breath. And we're like, okay, let's go do the transformational breath now. I'm like, I'm already
Holy shit.
I'm already in, mate. Like, so, and that was another cherry on top to like a massive transformation for me. Healing a lot of internal wounds around my mom, around my dad, around the separation, around of the loss, abandonment. And you can never connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect the dots looking backwards. And after, integration and doing a lot more work on myself, I can really see the dots, how everything was playing out. And it wasn't necessarily that I wanted to communicate to women. I wanted to learn how to communicate with myself and get in touch with myself. And once I had done that, I realized that I was like, oh, wow. I was anxious attachment style, fear of abandonment, fear of loss. So I pushed my partner away through alcohol in the past, so everything I got, I did it to myself to be able to lead myself into a position of healing, I guess you could say. So after that breath, that was the big change point for me. So yeah, it really saved my life.
And isn't it interesting that situation that we had 4 or 5 years ago that put us into a place where all of a sudden a lot of us, I mean, for a lot of people, it was an incredible time for them for growth. And although you may not have felt that at the start of the journey when you went into the deepest part of your lows, it was preparing you for who you are today. And, looking back now, retrospectively, you can see the dots
Yeah.
that have led to that path. And I mean, without you experiencing all of that, Nathan, you couldn't do what you do. You are able to now share the medicine that you share from a place of knowledge, not from a place of, I read this from a book, Joe Dispenza told me, whatever. I love Joe Dispenza. I'm not bagging him at all, but you have come from a place of experience. And that's, as healers, with my healing work, that's where the value is added in the work that we do, coming from a place of, I've been to the depths. I have seen all of this. I've met my guides. I've met my loved ones. All of those things are going to be very relative to what you do here. I want to go and move a little bit here and just ask you, so with all of this incredible transformation that happened for you through doing your work with men's medicine, and I tell you what, I first saw men's medicine during that time as well. Somehow it came up on my feed on Instagram because there was a lot of scrolling during that time. What else do you do? And I was totally inspired by men's medicine. And back then I was like, I'm going to work with them one day. Well, here we are. I'm here with you and we're doing this interview. And I almost feel like this is the opening for me talking with you. I'm working with men's medicine now because you've been able to experience men's medicine from the point of receiving, but also of facilitating. Is that correct?
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So I've done a full 360, from experiencing that very first breath with Lino, and now going through all of his facilitation, all of his programs, and now supporting as a facilitator myself. So we, full 360, and it's great because I can actually share this story, and this is where it allows me to be comfortable with my story so much more because I've said it so many times now. And we have a lot of guys come through the Empowered Man program. And, I think I'm about to facilitate my fourth retreat space with him. So that's he's got one, all the applications are already, I think, taken up for his, but we're about to go into the fourth Empowered Man with him. And just, it blows my mind every time. I get so much growth from it every time that I'm in that space, because it's like, I was the very first participant, in the very first Empowered Man, number 1, I was in there doing all my healing. And now for number 3, number 4, number 5, we're going into number 6. And so I get to lead from the front now and share my story and share my knowledge and share my presence and my energy. So it's pretty powerful. Yeah.
It really, really is. And for men to see that it's okay to feel and to show their emotions and to share, because we've grown up in this society where you need to toughen up, you need to, suck it up, don't cry. That's not what a man would do. Being able to actually give that permission to someone, and for a whole group of men to be able to be together and hold each other in that space. Because, it's not just about the facilitators, is it? It's also the men that are around you are holding you. It wells up a lot of emotion for me because, I predominantly work with women, but men are coming in now to the space of the work that I do. And it's exciting. It's exciting to be able to speak to you and know that you've done the work to get to where you are. And there's been no gimmicks around it. It's totally ego-free and authentic.
Yeah, 100%. I just wanted to touch on something there as well. It's like, strength is in the vulnerability. For a man to actually be vulnerable allows him to present himself as a stronger man, not necessarily like I'm strength and I've got power and all that stuff. To take ownership and acknowledgement for what's actually going inside, and he's comfortable within his space. So for a man to be vulnerable, man, it's nothing stronger. It's nothing, I guess, sexier than a man that can be vulnerable.
Absolutely. Yeah. As a woman, I can definitely say when I see a man in his vulnerability, I find that extremely, I don't want to say arousing, that's not the word. It's sexy. It is sexy. It's
well, he feels secure. He's secure. The man is secure within himself. He knows who he is and his purpose in life,
And that makes a woman secure and safe as well.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what we want in relationships.
Absolutely. Oh, okay. Relationships. So congratulations are in order. I have sent you a message and congratulated you, but You have just done something quite monumental and become
Oh,
engaged. Congratulations.
thank you. Thank you.
Your beautiful partner, Natalie.
Yes.
And I have seen uh, suggestions, and it looks like, if I'm correct, that you two are going to be working together a bit. Is this correct?
Yeah, 100%. Oh, hold on. I'm welling up just thinking about the engagement. Um, whew, it was a beautiful day, let's just say that. I got the photos just here from the engagement, and yeah, it was an amazing day. And that's the most vulnerable a man can ever be, is down on one knee asking for that the rest of their life, right? That
Yeah.
forever.
Well, wait till you have a baby. Then you'll see the most vulnerable bit of you.
Yeah. Well, I'm going in stages. So for me right now, that's where I'm at. It's
Baby steps.
beautiful. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so I started New Life Habits before Natalie came along. And Natalie's in the fitness industry. She's a Pilates instructor, yoga instructor now. And I was like, she's like, oh, I want to do this and I want to do that. And I'm like, why don't we just join forces? We got the same vision, I guess you could say. It's like, just,
Trajectory.
yeah, like we want to serve people, right? You want to help people through movement, which is great. I used to be a personal trainer for like 15 years, so I understand movement. I understand the physiology. It's like get the body moving, all of that stuff. It's all great. We have that same vision of just like, how can we serve better?
Yeah.
I'm like, I want breath work, I want movement, yoga,
Mhm.
all of the things. So, and this is why we pride ourselves on, like, we're not just breath work. We're not just yoga.
Yeah.
We create new life habits for everyone's life. Whether
Yes.
it's like, what area are you stuck in? Is it spiritual? Cool. Let's dive into something else. Is it physical? We've got you there. Emotional, mental, we can help, you know? So yeah,
Mm.
it's exciting. I think she's a little bit nervous, but we're excited.
Well, you've both got each other to support each other. And, I think
Yeah.
your prior knowledge will really, really, and hers as well, will really complement each other. And
Mm,
yeah, I'll be really interested to see what medicine comes from this. Uh,
mm.
I want to pop back for a second to men's medicine and
Yep.
just, I know that this has been probably the catalyst to what has transpired for you in the way of your exchanges, your offerings that you have for people. So I Am Warrior. I'm a little bit intrigued. What
Yep.
is I Am Warrior? Because, yeah, I can feel a bit of the men's medicine there, but I think this is your medicine.
It is my medicine. uh Good catch. Good awareness. Realistically, it's got nothing to do with men's medicine.
Yep.
Um, I actually came up with the name. So this actually necklace around my neck, it's a small dumbbell.
Yep.
And so when I was on the islands, and when I got charged grievous bodily harm, and I was seeing that girl at the time, when I left the courtroom, the judge was like, you've set a whole new standard. You've changed your whole life. You've done all the fitness things. You've got all these characteristics. We were planning on sending you into prison today, but because you had set such a high standard, like, it's like a massive congratulations to you. So he's like, you're free to go. It was a 24-year suspended sentence. And because I had done all the work, and it was just a strong year of like, okay, cool, do the things, stay out of trouble, and keep my head up, keep my head down, keep doing the work, etc. This is before anything like spiritual wise or anything healing. It was just like, go to the gym, look after yourself sort of mentality. And the girl that I was seeing at the time, she gave me this necklace, and on one side it's got engraved Iron Warrior, and on the other side it's got drive, discipline, and desire. And I was thinking, like fast forward into like last year, I was thinking, I'm like, I want to create a men's group where men can come together and connect, hold each other accountable, whether it's, you know, whatever is going on at home. It's just creating that safe space for men to be able to share, you know what, iron sharpens iron, men sharpen men. Whatever is on your chest, whatever's happening at the home, it's not, you're not there to unleash it onto your wife or your partner. Come to the group, share it with the lads, because we'll hold you accountable, like, and we can direct you in whatever way you need directing. You know, a good leader comes from a place of support and challenge. So, you know, it's like we try and we support each other as much as possible, and we challenge them. It's like, hey, how can you do it better? Like, you know, speak up to your missus or speak to your children differently, you know. So it's just a great little group that I kind of I wanted it for myself, to be honest. I wanted other men to join me because I wanted a place where I could connect with other guys, you know, and it's been good. So we've got, I think we've got like 8 guys in there now, and you know, there's always room for more, and it's just a place where we can just connect. So, you know, and I think a couple of the guys are just, we're on a bit of a running thing at the moment. So everyone's like, yeah, we'll do running and all this stuff, and just hyping each other up and holding each other accountable. So taking away anything like any like bad thoughts, or if any of the guys are struggling with self-sabotage or anything like that, where it's like, you know, going out on the weekends or whatever like that. And it's like, do you really want to do that? Like, what's your purpose? Where are you at with your passion right now? Like, how is this going to serve you if you wanted to do this? Yeah, some of the guys have stopped drinking, stopped vaping, stopped gambling, and some of the wins is just literally had built a stronger connection with their children, which is massive because, you know, some of the things that we obviously I bring forth for them is like just reminding them that they're only mirrors of themselves. So how you're showing up is how your children are showing up. So if you can calm and be regulated within yourself, then, and a lot of these guys are just like, it was so simple. I just had to regulate myself. I'm like, yeah, it is that simple. You just get stuck sometimes, you know, and that's why we have this group, you know. So it's powerful, and I'm super proud of it, to be honest, because I had this around my neck for the last 20 years and I didn't know the value of it, you know, until last year. So yeah, it's beautiful, a beautiful gift that she kept giving for those many years. So
Yeah, no, that's
yeah.
amazing. Yeah, isn't that life though? There's so many lessons that we're given and we don't pick them up when they're put down until a lot later. You know, it takes us a while to go and cotton onto them.
100%. Sometimes you don't even unwrap the present, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure there's still quite a few under my Christmas tree that I'm still to open.
Yeah. Sometimes the gift is just wrapped for the whole life, you know, and people aren't willing to go to the depths to see how to unwrap that gift, you know.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So that leads me on to question for everyone that's watching. If you could go and unwrap every single gift that's been given to you and not miss out on any of them by the time you leave this earth, so you're basically not leaving this earth with a song still in you, and you thought that there was a possibility that there was a program out there that could possibly help you with this, that you could do 12 weeks, men and women. There'd be a retreat in there as well. And it'd be all about the seasons and cycles of your life, not season chicken, season cycle.
Definitely not season chicken. That's classic. Yep. I like where you're going.
What would that mean to you? And I want you to elaborate on what I've just spoken about.
So I get the feeling that you're talking about our new 12-week program. So
absolutely,
100%. So Natalie and I, we've released our program called Season Cycle, and we chose the word cycle instead of like series. So because, you know, we've got the Seasoned King and we've got the Seasoned Queen, and they're 2 different programs ran at different times because we believe that, you know, men need space for their healing and women need their space for their healing. And it's all derived around what season you're in at your life. So we look at all the lows within winter and all the highs within summer as well. So it's very powerful. It's very, we're going to go through a lot of breath work. We're going to go through a lot of mindset exploration and psychology exploration. So, you know, removing a lot of the masks that come up and allow you to present yourself in your true authenticity by the end of it. So it's exciting, and it's our first one too. So if you want to be an OG, little drop.
Yes, no, it's exciting. You know, there are so many courses out there. We know that, but you know, one of the big things that I really promote with my clients and just talking in general with people is that every one of us has a medicine that is going to be right for the people that they meet. And that's why I love, even though, heck, I do breath work, you know, that's one of my things too. I have absolutely no qualms at all speaking to you as a fellow breath worker, because there are going to be people out there that go, nah, Sam's not right for me, but Nathan is. And so this is the same with healers as well. Look, we are all here as a united front, as healers, as breathwork instructors, as coaches, all of those things, because we're here to serve humanity. And so we need to be supporting each other as much as possible so that the medicine is getting shared no matter what.
Yeah, 100%. And it's literally not about like us. It's not about the individual running the program. It's about the bigger picture, you know, looking at the picture as a whole. You know, it's not just a one side of the coin. It's look at the coin, like when it's spinning, you know. And it is about serving humanity. It's about bringing humanity back together, you know, and reconnecting everyone back to themselves and to each other, you know. If you go back like thousands of years ago, there used to be tribes, right? And tribes had their actual thing. You know, I've said this to I get really connected to a lot of New Zealanders and Islanders and stuff. Hence my coach being Lino. There's just this genuine attraction where I'm like, they're so not stuck, but they're so in there like their olden ways where it's tribal, it's about community, it's about you know,
Family.
raising the family, raising the whole space as like as a unity. So it's like that's why I love it. It's, you know, you can't raise children by yourself. It takes a community or it takes a tribe to raise a child. So, you know, and that's what I froth off that, because I'm looking at a lot of the youth around at the moment, you know, and it's pretty full on. You know, there's a lot of disconnection from family, from each other, and you know, these kids, they're just running around scared and looking for power, you know, and it's pretty full on. So
I totally agree with you there. And I mean, we have so many distractions in the world at the moment with, you know, the use of AI, the use of social media, the media itself, all of those things, which all of them have got some benefits. I would never, ever go, don't look at AI, don't look at social media, those sort of things. And that's a little bit controversial because there have been a few bills going through in regards to this lately. But they are all distractions. And what exactly as you're saying, we're trying to bring people back to themselves again. This is as healers, as the light workers that we are. And there is, you know, you and I have this common denominator of we both do the practice of breath work, but we also teach breath work to people. And that is exactly what it's all about. It is about bringing people back to themselves, bringing them back to their consciousness, letting them, I don't know, feel their body or feel their spirit within their body again through breath. Now, Currumbin on a Saturday is the place to be. And I was supposed to come I think it was last week.
Yeah, that was our first birthday.
I know. Oh, I'm so sorry. I hate apologizing, but I will say sorry. And congratulations on your first year. I'd love you to plug it a little bit and to tell everybody what it is that you do down there at Currumbin.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's just a sunrise breath, activation breath, and it really just allows you to embrace the start of a new day, the right way, just to ground into Mother Earth. We sit on the sand and we watch the sunrise. Hopefully it's not raining on the day, but we some
It's a
people
bit of
feel the
rain.
rain, some people feel the rain, some people just get wet and it's only water. So um yeah, we just embrace the day as it comes. So it's just an activation breath, and we just invite everyone to connect to themselves and allow whatever's been moving through them, especially like right now. So this Saturday is our next sunrise breath,
Mhm.
and we're about to have our first full moon tomorrow night, which is huge. So it's our first full moon for the year. So we're going to be letting go of a lot of stuff. So I can imagine over this week there's going to be a lot of energies moving and shifting, and a lot of people. Yeah, well, we had already had our difficulties this morning, so it's exciting. So we just allow everyone to just connect, and there's a connection piece. We do a group, well, not a group hug, but we just introduce ourselves, go around hugs, and then we breathe. We do a priming breath, and then we go through whatever breath I'm feeling on the day, and
Mhm.
then we finish off with another connection piece where we get to share what the breath came up from, what's been happening, and just allow everyone to integrate back into their morning. So it's like for beginners, for whoever hasn't ever breathed
Right.
before, it's like literally just come in and be seen, be heard, be felt for the first time, and allow that to come in, because a lot of people kind of feel weird about that, you know, like, whoa, I've just been seen for the first time. Like,
Yes.
actually
Yes.
this person wants to listen to me. Like, wow, the
Yeah.
power of just listening is phenomenal. Some people always want to be talking and talking. It's like, just be shh and listen to what other people have to say.
Mm.
There's such a power there, especially on that morning. That connection piece afterwards is huge. Some of the guys opening up, they're just breaking down like, oh, had this hard conversation, during the week, and they're upset or something like that. Something so small and activating, and it's not always about crying and releasing and stuff. Something like even myself, I'm like crying because I'm so happy that I'm like, yes, this is great.
Yeah.
I'm out in the
Yeah.
sunshine, I'm breathing, I'm alive. I'm probably more grateful because of my journey. It's like, oh yes, I'm here, I'm serving. This is amazing.
But imagine if you could go into the past, Nathan, who would have
Mm,
woken up on a Saturday morning, possibly hungover, and
mm.
not been able to do any of that to who you are now. What a
What do you mean
permission.
wake up?
Well, there you go. There you go.
Would have still been going. Yeah.
Yeah. I when you were talking and you said about the group hugs, and immediately I thought, oh, we need to talk about group hugs because a lot of people are really uncomfortable with touch these days. I think that
Mm,
probably the last 5 years of the experience of being told you can't touch someone 5 meters distance, all of those things,
mm,
it really impacted our connection to other humans. And
hmm.
I love it that you do that within the space of your breath work, because I know for myself, I'm a huge hugger.
Mm.
I am awkward, the awkward hugger. I'm going to hold you just that little bit longer and make you feel even more uncomfortable. I don't know if that's,
Yeah.
but it's incredible to see people evolve over time when you have someone that's coming to breath work week after week after week, and the awkwardness starts to leave and
Mm.
they start to embrace the embrace.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, they're
uh,
changing. They're changing their environment, right? You go into a nightclub, of course you're going to dance, but you go down to the local pub, you're not going to dance at the local pub, are you? So it's like, or you're not going to go dance at the beach. It's whatever environment you're at. So if you're in the environment where, hey, this is the norm, well, everyone just wants to belong and fit in. So
yeah,
everyone's just gonna do exactly what they want to do, or what
yeah.
everyone else is doing. But then once they realize that, holy shit, I can do this. I can hug someone else, or I can talk about whatever's coming up. It becomes the new norm. And then they
Mm.
feel safe within themselves, and then the rabbit hole starts unpacking. So for
Yeah,
that
yeah.
person.
Oh, I love awkwardness and resistance. When I feel it
It's
in
great.
myself, oh, that's juicy. Like, especially if I feel it within myself, that's when the real inquiry starts. But even when you see it with other people and you see that awkwardness and resistance, that is such a beautiful opener to being able to go and unravel all of the stuff that we're holding inside. And I just love it that you're able to do this with people through breath work, through season cycle, through the Iron Warrior, through the work that you do with men's medicine. And then, of course, on top of that, you do coaching as well.
Yeah, one-on-one coaching, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
how does that look in a day? What would one-on-one coaching look like with you?
Depends what the person is going through. And there's a few different processes that we would go through. My big process that I've recently dived into at the start of last year was the holographics process, and that's embodied a lot of paradigm shifts and universal laws and all of that stuff. So it's very deep, it's very powerful, and kind of need a bit of time to do that. And yeah, so
I'm
that's
not
how.
familiar.
Yeah, it's new, it's big, it's full on. So I can't go into too much depth because we'll be here for a very long time, but it is powerful, and it's a massive breakthrough where you can actually embody like all the spiritual, physical, mental, and emotional all in one process. So it's yeah. I did this process once and I literally felt like the light source, whatever you want to use,
Oh.
whatever. Yeah, I was sitting there like, holy fuck. It was beautiful. And the facilitator, the actual owner of the holographics program is called Cody McCullough, and he's based here on the Gold Coast, and he's a beautiful soul, very intelligent, and he's the one that's created this process. And if you haven't heard of him before, he's going to be huge one day with this process. So I'm glad that I always do the first of everything. I'm like first of Vincent, first of Cody McCullough. So I want to get in, and but it was a beautiful process where I was just sitting there like this, and Cody's watching over me. He's like, "What? Get it something." I'm like,
Oh.
yeah, it was a lot, very healing. So that
Mm.
actual process was on rejection, actually. So one of my core wounds was pretty powerful.
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah. Wow. Well, it sounds
But
to
yeah,
me like this has got to be something that's a discovery call for people. So when they're
yeah,
listening to that and going, whoa, I can't
mm,
even comprehend, I need to know more, then
yeah,
this is where they would do a discovery call with you to find out more and work out if it's the medicine that they need at the moment. So I think
yeah.
everyone needs a bit of medicine in their life.
100%. And you know what? When I said like who's it for, sort of thing, it really depends on where the person's at with their window of tolerance on their nervous system. So some people really can't handle um, even too much breath. Even too much breath is too full on for some people. And
Yep.
a lot of people. Like, let's just dive into a lot of people. A lot of the guys at the gym, for example, some of those guys need to train less because they're putting so much stress on their body physically that their mental state can't keep up. And I'm like, every time I go to the gym now, I'm like, this guy's probably going through so much pain right now, and he's only making it a lot worse by putting more pressure on the body,
Mm.
And if you come from a bit of a different place where just go a little bit softer and a little bit lighter or whatever it may be, or just stop and just have a time to just chill, you probably feel like a lot of relief from that instead of going to the gym and bashing the weights around out of anger or whatever. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And I mean, we're in this time at the moment too, and I've been hearing it from heaps of people that their cortisol levels are all
Yeah.
over the place, like 3 times what they usually are, and their anxiety spike, they're not sleeping. Someone sent this to me just last night. I won't mention who it is, but just they could so relate to the fact that they knew their cortisol levels were just through the roof. Everything that you've got to offer people is going to go and lower that state. That basically you're giving them a non-prescribed medicine.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
I love it.
It's beautiful. And It's so natural, it's holistic. It's like there's, the thing is, no one's broken, right?
No.
And all the answers are already in here. They just need someone to help tap into those answers and actually feel the grace that's coming out of him. So, and you and I both have that power. So we both have that medicine where we can offer, there's people to actually tap into what's actually tuning on in the inside. So it's amazing.
How beautiful is that? What an honor for
Yeah.
us to be able to go and unlock that within people if they are willing and choose to.
Yeah. It still
I
baffles me, eh? It still baffles me. I'm like, didn't realize this.
Wax. Oh, don't worry.
Yeah.
Sometimes I go, "Why me?" No, it's like
Mm,
it can be very, very, very overwhelming with the work that we do too. I'm
mm,
not. I would never ever say, and I would ask this of you too. I would not say that I am immune to my own stuff as well. But how incredible that we have tools that have been given to us to be able to use ourselves, but then with the people, the community, so we're going back to community
mm,
now, that surrounds us, we have this support system that is able to go back to the tribal ways
mm.
of when a child was sick, the whole tribe looked after them.
Yeah.
When they went and they hunted and they gathered, they did it together. Everything is
Mm,
done from a point of community. And, it is really that, and you're so correct. You said it before. It's bringing together and remembering that oneness and that we're all connected and that we can all help each other. There's just some of us that have really taken on the role and
yeah.
embraced it. And here we are doing all of the magic that you are doing now and that you'll
Yeah.
continue to do and that will only grow. That's the exciting thing. I mean, you look at this and
Yeah.
I'm like, holy, look at all of these offerings that you have, but this is just going to get better.
Yeah. It's funny you say that because I'm like, oh, I've got some other stuff that I could offer these guys as well. I'm like, when you say there's a lot of offers, I'm like, oh yeah, there is a fair bit, isn't there? And I'm like, I'm like, I could do this, I could do this. I'm very an ideas man. I'm like just thinking about how can I be of more service. And it's funny that you say that. I actually started a clothing label last year, and it hasn't been fully released, but it's there, and I still work on it, and it's like a positive mindset um clothing label. So it just has powerful messages on the shirt to help change people's perspective, so help look at different ways. So yeah, it's I'm like, okay, cool. I've got that medicine where, because a lot of people don't actually want to do coaching, or, maybe they're really resistant to working with someone. And if I could coach them through wearing a shirt and make them feel better, man, I'm happy with that. I've done my job, and how in any way I can get the message across, I'm stoked with that. So if it's
Yeah.
through actual one-on-one coaching, through wearing a shirt, or through social media or podcasts, whatever it is, let's get the message across and let's serve as
Yeah.
many people as we can. So
And we all have a different language which we're able to understand. So it's beautiful that you're doing so many different mediums in order to be able to go and appeal to people in whatever space they're sitting in.
mm.
A thought just came up now. The podcast will come to a close. I could talk to you all day, I'm sure.
Yeah.
We could just rattle, rattle, rattle.
Yeah.
I feel sometimes that there is some resistance around with coaching, the fact that you're going to have to pay for something. And I really want to put
Mm.
that out there, and you might be able to expand on this a little bit as well. Um, it's come up a couple of times. I've actually had someone who went viral on TikTok for speaking about the fact that we're more than willing to go and spend money on our eyelashes, getting our hair done, getting our nails done. This is for women. I'm not sure what men. I know for my husband, he
Oh,
just goes and gets like toys. Like he's got his mower and I don't know if that is a toy, but it looks like it is.
it
Uh,
is. It's fun.
yeah. which are all of the things that I spoke about as a woman are distractions. We don't need them. And yet we're unable to go and invest in something as important as our healing and our development, because this is why we're here on the earth. We're here to progress. We're here to develop. We're here to become, well, this is what I think. We're here to become the most spectacular versions of ourselves. And I just really wanted to point out that it's not, you're not paying for something, you're investing in yourself.
I was speaking to this is a really great conversation. I actually could probably speak about this for a very long time. And just to note on a couple of those things that you did say, where, women are, they obviously want to look good and they want to do that, but like deep down as well, they just want external validation. They want to be like approved by their group of friends or whatever there is, so and with men, oh no, this guy that I was speaking to yesterday, he was talking about like investing into like shares and all that stuff. And the one share that this particular person was talking about is like S&P 500 or whatever like that. But then he goes to say, it's like, but the most important one is S&P me. So focusing on me first. Yeah. So you're the one vessel, the one person that you should be putting all of your money into. I even said this because I just did a men's walk again on Saturday with my father, which was very powerful. But I was speaking to the guy on the men's walk, and it's like, I don't have a ton of money. Like I never had like a big lump sum of money given to me from family or anything. Like I've always worked and earned my way. And, in the last year, I probably put like $50,000 back into myself, into self-development. So it's like, oh yeah, I don't have that money wealth, like that value of money, but me personally, I'm very wealthy, and I'm full of value, so, and that for me, that is so much better. Like I know that I'm like valuable as a person. And a couple of the guys that I was walking with, they're like, man, your energy's so calm. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. I'm like, I'm very calm. I love it. And
you've done the work.
Yeah,
You've done the
exactly.
work to be where you are. And I'm
Well,
sure that you,
I continuously do the work. Yeah. It's not just a quick fix and it's over. It's a continuation,
Yes. And we are our most important investment, no matter what we do. Whether it's paying for something, just do a course, to go to a retreat, all of those things, or it's just spending that extra time in the morning, meditation, breath work, journaling, and however that looks to you, because there isn't a rule as to how you do it. I was speaking to a client today, and she loves to walk when she meditates. Perfect. We're still investing in ourselves. So I thought that was a really, really important thing to talk about, because, your course, yes, there's going to be an investment, but the dividends are going to be what really matters at the end,
100%.
what you see from it. So
it's a ripple effect.
It is such a ripple effect. I am just so grateful that I have had a chance today to speak with you. I wanted to, my last question to you, now there's going to be two. I always ask everyone that comes on here, what are your 3 non-negotiables? So things that you just stand by completely. You've probably got 25 or 1,000, but 3 that come to mind straight away, just off the cuff. Boom.
Well, I was going to say the first thing that came to mind was pickles. I fucking love pickles. Hey, I've eaten pickles since I was like a little kid. I have a jar every day in the fridge. I don't eat a full jar, but like I've got a full jar like ready to go. But pickles, punctuality is a big value of mine. So being on time, respecting other people's time, because time is our most valuable aspect. and respect. Just holding respect is massive for me. So
Yeah.
respecting other people's model of the world, respecting where they're at with their journey. I've got so much more than three, but those were the first three things that I thought about when you asked me what's my three non-negotiables. Like pickles, fuck yeah, punctuality, respect.
Well, thanks for the pickles one. I don't know if we could be friends
Yeah.
anymore, but
Oh.
kidding.
Yeah.
All right. And my very last thing that I wanted to ask you, if you could introduce yourself to the world. So, when you meet somebody, they say, the first thing he says, oh, what do you do? And sometimes that's really uncomfortable for people. What do you do? They may not be proud of it is that what they do. My question that I will ask you is, who do you claim that you are in this world?
I'm Nathan Howe. I claim that. Like there's no other tall, dark, and handsome man by the name of Nathan Howe. And the name Nathan itself means gift from God. And I walk with faith every day and I believe in it. So and I just trust that the universe will always provide me with everything. So myself, I'm Nathan Howe. Yeah. I claim that.
Oh my gosh, best answer ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for coming on.
Thank
I love it that you have your program, I Am Warrior, and I call this Ley Lines, and it's Walking with Warriors. So I've just brought an I Am
yes.
Warrior onto Walking with Warriors, which is just perfect. And
100%.
I'm so grateful that we finally got to meet, and I love it that we've met on this medium to start with. It's going to be the biggest, most awkward hugs when I see you at Currumbin for a breathwork session.
Yes. Well, who knows? Sammy, who knows? There could be, this is just the start of something even bigger than us as well. This conversation, we could be working on retreats. Our next offer could be you and me working together. So it's what you make of it, right? And
The
we've got so much.
possibilities are endless.
Exactly. We've got so much power between both of us. So it's like, well, let's give that energy back. So, this is just the start.
Yep. And I can't wait for Nat to be involved as well.
Yes. She should be home soon. I'm actually excited to see her. Give her a big hug.
You know what? I think that this is going to lead into another podcast with both of you together as you speak about the medicine that's going to be coming up for you two. I'm really looking forward to getting you back on with Nat. I would love it if you are willing to, and we can
100%.
go and explore and find out more about Nathan Howe and beautiful Natalie and share your medicine with the world.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you so much for having me. Hey, I really appreciate it. It was a blessing, and it makes me be even more grateful just listening back to all of that we've just been through. It's been a wild journey, so it allows me to be a bit more present today. So thank you so much.
What an incredible journey. Thank you.
Thanks, Sammy.